Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms video. I am RoyalMixGaming and today we're going to be talking about Attila and Nevsky. So we're going to talk about what the talents I would use for them, for both commanders as a primary. We're just going to talk about the pair in general, and I'm also going to show you the battle reports first, and then we're going to talk about the talents and all that kind of stuff. So let me show you those. Okay, so here's a first battle report. This is 93 and 1846 KVK. This is a Jadwiga YSS versus Nevsky and Attila. Nevsky is primary in this situation and Attila is secondary. This is the trade. The rally was swarmed very heavily, as you can see from the remaining troops. They had some difficulty reinforcing this rally on the left side, but they still got a good trade on the pass, and the pass was nearly full. It's very possible that maybe the gear or something wasn't top notch for this garrison, but it did get a good trade. And in general, the reason they're using this pair, Nevsky and Attila, together is because you can't swarm it. So in all the reports that I have seen so far, I don't have like the actual reports themselves, but if you scroll through them and stuff like that, you can see that it's a very nasty trade if you try and swarm it, especially if people keep the rally topped off. In this instance, they didn't, but it does a very good job of anti-swarm and does a good trade on the rally. So here is a counter rally to the rally, and the Nevsky Attila is the one that's in this picture on the left, and the Attila Nevsky is on the opposing side that was a counter rally, and you can see it got another 2-to-1 trade against that rally, and I don't know if it was ever swarmed, but they kept it full, and this rally got low, and it did a really good job as a counter rally. So they didn't try and swarm it too much. Even if they did, it was still did really well. In the next report, this is Attila primary with Nevsky secondary. As you can see from this report and the other report that I showed you here, let me just scroll right back to it. It's very similar. I would say the main difference between Attila primary and Nevsky primary is that if you put Nevsky primary, his skill cycle is going to be a little bit faster. He's going to be more of a target in case people want to try and swarm him and kind of tease people to try and swarm him so that they get a bad trade against the Attila secondary, which is why I would recommend you do Nevsky primary for the most part, because I think that it's just going to get a better trade if people try to swarm you at all, because you're going to get those severely wounded on those people there. Report with Attila and Nevsky, it's still really good. This pair is doing really well. This is just another report, another 2-to-1 trade here. This is the media report that you can disregard the double C and Con. It is still the same Jad and YSS. I don't know whose Jad and YSS it was, but at the start of the report, obviously, it was double C and Con. So I would say that if it was actually Jad at the very start, it'd probably be like 3 mil to like 8 mil. So you can take about 1 million troops off, probably, give or take, because it was there for a little bit of time, from what I know, and it did cause some damage in that time period, so it was a little extra. But as you can see, this rally got really low on the left, and it would have done even better if they'd kept it topped off all the time. But it was swarmed a few times, and I know that in that report it did really well in the swarm. It's just that they had problems keeping it topped off a little bit because it was such a heavy swarm. And this is at pass 7, so a lot of the tech's pretty high, so you can cause a lot of damage, but you're also taking a lot of damage at the same time when you're swarming rallies. So this rally, like I was saying, is a very good rally because it's anti-swarm. So this is the one of the bigger reports. This is another smaller report, another about 2-to-1 trade with Attila primary and Nevsky secondary. And then that is all the reports that I have, but this is the biggest one. So I would say in general, if you're going to use this pair, you're going to want to use this at a pass or when you think you're going to be swarmed. Because if you are not going to be swarmed, you have the field, there's no possibility of you being swarmed at all very hard. XY and Nevsky is going to do even better than this because it's going to burn through the troops way faster, cause more sevs much faster, do more damage, and then overall is just going to do a better job. But if you're going to get swarmed, obviously XY Nevsky or any other pair with Nevsky pretty much is not tanky enough and swarm resistant enough to get the job done. So if you need something that's not going to be swarmable, use Attila and Nevsky together. Nevsky primary is probably the slightly better option, but if you want to deter people from swarming at all, then use Attila primary, and most likely no one's going to swarm you. So that would be my recommendation, is just use Nevsky primary, because not everybody's going to see the Attila secondary. So back in game here, I'm just going to show you quickly the talents I would use for Nevsky, and then I'm going to show you the talents I would use for Attila. So in general, I would use something similar to this for Nevsky primary. You can always ditch the feral nature all the way and try and go for some disarm the disarm at the top here if you really want to. But in general, a faster skill cycle is really good. But in general, also, if you're doing a rally, you're going to gain a lot of rage if you have a horn and stuff like that. So you don't necessarily need feral nature. You can always ditch it and go for disarm at the top here and get a little bit of reduced attack coming from the opponent. So this would be the main one that I would use, and then secondary is just go for disarm. On my alt here, we're going to show you the artillery talent tree that I would use. So the Attila talent tree that I would use is this one here. You're going to get the Effortless, which increases all your damage every 10 seconds, up to 10%. You're going to get Fight to the Death, which increases all your damage. You're going to get Martial Mastery, which increases your normal attack damage. You're going to get Unyielding. You're going to get Buckler's Shield. And then you're going to go up and to get Emblazoned Shield, because nearly all of the garrisons that I know are skill damage oriented. So you're going to want to reduce the skill damage that you're taking. So if you ever want to use Attila primary, this is the talent tree I would use for any pair with Attila that's Attila primary. So that's all for this video. I just wanted to tell you guys what they're good for and why I would use them in what situations. Like I was saying, just use them if you think you're going to get swarmed. That's a good pair. There needs to be more testing against things like Zenobia, things like, I think that they would do really good against archers, but it needs to be tested against Zenobia. I haven't seen that, but the main garrison I've been seeing is Jad and YSS, and it's doing a really good job. So if you're going to get swarmed, use that, try it out, see what you think. Otherwise, XY and Nevsky is still really good. You can use Archer Rally or something like that, and Pakal and Herald's good too. It's just, I think this is another option for Cav players. If you have Attila already, you can use this to be anti-swarmable, and it's still a good option. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you on the next one.